Hello, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
I am the great and powerful Mr. E.
I am
Turtle J.
Turtle J, your orator today. It rhymed.
This is just a YouTube special, so we're still getting the hang of this YouTube stuff. We're not going to look at you guys at all because that's odd to us.
Yeah, this is weird.
Yeah.
I don't like being recorded.
Eventually, we'll get a better camera for this. We're just now kind of really getting into the YouTube stuff. But this week is going to be kind of similar to last week's video.
Ooh.
What?
I don't want product placement.
I don't care. I drank a lot of it. But we're doing Adam Benedicts' other book, Oddities In Print. And we're going to do, there's a special theme to these. We're going to do 3 stories again, and there's a theme to them.
Yes, indeed. And it's a theme close to our hearts, kind of.
Yeah, I think so.
Because we both have turtles.
We're turtle people.
I became one. I'm becoming one.
I have 4 turtles. You have 1.
Mm-hmm. She's big. Getting big.
She will be the biggest out of all of our turtles for a long time.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. How old are your turtles?
So Bosco's 9.
Oh, no, Bosco's beating her right now.
Not by weight.
Not by weight, but
she's definitely heavier than Bosco.
Length, she's beating him. Or he's beating
him. He's an alligator snapper turtle. He has a long tail.
Well, true, I didn't mention that.
Her shell is probably bigger than... I know it's hard for you to realize because you don't see them side by side.
Yeah.
But Bosco's the same size as Tiki was probably last year.
I don't know. I think Bosco's circumference is bigger.
Maybe. But the alligator snapper turtles are flat.
But she's about like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Thick.
Alligator snapper turtles are flat.
And she's thick with 2 C's.
But so Bosco is 9. He should hit his growth spurt probably this year or next year.
Nice.
Alligator snapper turtles become sexually mature at 15.
Ooh, okay.
But they take a long time to hit this kind of the stride of getting big fast.
So like humans almost.
Yeah, because he's been shedding his shell constantly, so he's growing very fast.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
So, yeah.
What's it look like when they shed their shell?
Like sheets of it come off.
Like a snake?
Kind of, yeah. So, yeah, they're scoots.
Scoots.
So, yeah, they shed their shells. Tortoises do it too, but it's harder to realize.
Yeah, I haven't really noticed.
If you see it come off on a tortoise, it's probably a problem.
Oh, yeah, I've never noticed
Turtles, it comes off a lot easier.
Interesting.
Tortoises, it more just kind of like dust off. Like, it kind of like dissolves off.
That would make more sense. Which, speaking of which, you gotta change her bedding. She's due.
But yeah, so today's stories are all around turtles.
Turtles.
So why don't we get started? What's our first one?
This first one comes from the Daily Yellowstone Journal in Montana, July 26, 1884. And I think I'm going to do all these in chronological order.
Is 1884 the oldest then?
Yep.
Okay.
And this is called, the title of the article was A Turtle of Note. Okay.
They're all of note. The only animal I won't eat.
Is it turtle?
Mm-hmm.
You never had turtle?
Mm-hmm.
I've had turtle once.
I won't kill one. I won't eat one. And I have had buddies that kill and eat them. A turtle's never done anybody any wrong.
Right, yeah. I don't think I could kill one, but I've eaten one. It was already prepared. I didn't have to see the whole act. Interesting. It's good. It's a little thing to learn about you.
I have a personal problem of eating things that live longer than me.
Ooh. Interesting.
Like, I don't kill gar, because a lot of those species live longer than me. Buffalo, they live longer than me. The buffalo, the fish.
Oh.
Just a lot of these sturgeon, stuff like that, they just live... I don't know. It's just a weird thing. It's like a respect thing for me with nature, I guess. That's like... It's punching kind of sideways on the food chain. Because these things are living the same length or longer than me. So it's not fair to cut their life short when you're looking at these other...
hungry.
Well, these other fish, like perch, live to be 5 or 6 years old.
Right, yeah.
And they're already that old.
Yeah.
And I don't feel as bad harvesting on a big fish.
Right, yeah.
Because it's like, well, you're not making it through this.
You're knocking on death's door anyways. Might as well eat ya.
But if it's a sturgeon, it's going to live another 100 years.
Yeah. Oh, I get that. It's a good way to view life, I think. I think it's respectful. All right. A turtle of note. Again, this was in a Montana newspaper, Daily Yellowstone Journal, July 26, 1884. A correspondent writing from Norwich, New York says, in the summer of 1840, A.R. Warner of Guilford, I don't know, while walking through a meadow of Univille Valley, came across a large turtle. The shell of the turtle showed the marks where initials and date had been cut in it, but the initials of only one person and the date on which they had been carved could be made out. The initials were E.R.J. 1835. Mr. Warner cut A.R.W. 1840 into the shell and released the turtle. So now it has 2 sets of initials on it. In 1880, so 40 years later, the turtle was discovered in the same locality by some boys. The ERJ 1835 and the ARW 1840 were still very distinct. In addition, were HJH 1870, EB 1875, and SDA 1880. So 3 more names were carved in the turtle when they found it.
Mm-hmm.
So the same turtle's still alive, going. The turtle was again turned loose. A few days later, it was found again in the field where it was seen in 1840 by Mr. Warner, but no additional carvings were on the shell. The turtle is no larger than it was 40 years ago, showing that it must have been a full-grown turtle at the time. That's it. That's pretty cool.
So that sounds really cruel, because it kind of is.
Is
If
it?
you're carving names into it? Because they have nerves and stuff in that.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they have a layer of skin and stuff in there. Now, the shell's alive. It's not like a horn.
Ah, interesting.
Like a rhino's horn has no nerve endings, no feeling in it.
Right, it's like a big fingernail.
Yeah. But tusk, so elephants' tusks have nerves in them.
Ooh,
It's like a tooth.
Oh, so when they cut them off, it freaking hurts.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how deep. It's like us with working on our teeth.
Right.
You hit the root or the core. It's
Freaking
a lot
hurts.
of pain.
Oh yeah. Well, if you chip a little bit.
But every time this turtle was caught, if it would not have had a name, it probably would have been eaten.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So it kind of traded it off. Where now it's a gimmick to release it.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool.
So it may have bought this turtle 40 more years.
Right. Exactly. Well, how long is a normal lifespan of a turtle?
Depends on the species.
Mm.
So out in Montana, I'm not familiar with Yellowstone species.
What? See, I don't know. It says
I don't even know any reptiles out there, so it'd be a really hard. I do know reptiles out there, but not turtle species. It'd be a really hard guess. But it's an aquatic turtle. There's probably some kind of sliders out there or a pond turtle, and they normally only live to be 40 or 50.
Mm-hmm.
So this is quite an old specimen.
It must be, especially if it was fully grown already when it was first discovered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's a very old turtle, no matter what it is. Because common snappers, it might be a common snapper. They are out there, which are the same species. They're the largest ranged species of turtle in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. It says the paper is in Montana, but it also said, of course, the very first line, a correspondent writing from Norwich, New York, said.
Oh, if it's that, then it's a snapper.
So it could be. Let me look up where. Oh gosh.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
All right. I was gonna see.
That's the problem with these old newspaper clippings is because the newspaper halfway across the country would write the article.
Picks up these stories. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that it's probably a common snapper. So they can live. I think they can live to be 80 or 90. So that'd fit. Probably hit its growth, because they get big kind of quick in their lifespan relatively.
Okay.
And then they slow down.
Gotcha.
Because then they're working more in reproduction.
Right. Yeah.
So your first job as a reptile is to get big enough to be out of most of the food chain.
And then look.
And then start reproducing.
Yeah. Look like a good mate.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Interesting story.
It's a fun turtle story.
All right, where are we heading next?
Would you ever carve your name in a turtle?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because it'd be like me carving my name into your back. You would feel it, and it would be permanent.
Interesting.
Because you're literally carving skin and nerve off.
No, maybe some people want that though.
Not a turtle.
Yeah, I guess whatever. I don't know. So I shouldn't do it to mine.
I would doubt if Tiki will live long enough to kill you.
Huh?
She'll be an old man, and she'll step on your throat.
Or just start gnawing at my feet when I'm asleep.
When you're 80 and you're 80 and she's
when she can outrun
89,
me.
but then she weighs 200 pounds.
Yeah, I know. She's getting big. I'm gonna have to start finding a new food source too.
Yeah, she'd probably get moved on to hay.
Ooh, hay. It's for horses.
No, it's for sulcata tortoises.
Oh, that's how the saying goes. We'll have to change it. We'll normalize that.
Normalize sulcata tortoises.
Yeah, the saying hay is for sulcata tortoises. So people start saying that now. Rolls off the tongue way better. Not hay is for horses. All right, the next one is from the Virginia Enterprise, May 31st, 1895, in Minnesota.
Minnesota doing it.
So the paper in Minnesota is called the Virginia Enterprise. Interesting. Okay, the headline is "It Rained Turtles," and then the name of the article is called "A Louisville Man Struck on the Head While Walking the Streets." All right, here we go. It rained turtles and water out in the southeastern part of Louisville, Kentucky, a few mornings since. Remember, this is 1895. They were live turtles as large as a silver dollar, and as fast as they fell would begin to crawl until the street at Preston near camp fairly squirmed with them. Charles L. Hoffman, who has a grocery in that vicinity, had been out on business and was running back to his store to escape the rain when something hard struck him on the head. He looked around, supposing that some boy had thrown a stone at him. He was hit with another, until at last he stopped to see what it was, and discovered the turtles running about in every direction on the pavement. After he had recovered from his surprise at this strange phenomenon, he gathered up several of them and took them into his store, where he has them on exhibition.
So, 50-cent piece. Everybody at home? About like that. About like that.
It's got Kennedy on it.
A baby turtle. These are baby turtles.
Yeah.
In the water.
So when rain. So it's raining and baby turtles are falling.
I do think... So I do not like this explanation for most of these weird phenomena.
Yeah.
But I do think this is one of the only examples we actually have of a water spout.
Throwing up turtles?
Yeah. So probably local wetland or something had... So I'm going to guess this is spring. Even though it probably didn't say.
Yeah, it doesn't say, unfortunately.
Because that's when baby turtles hatch. Spring, early summer, late spring, early summer. And I'm going to guess it went over a wetland, and that was the majority of the populace was baby turtles.
Wouldn't you think other things would fall too?
Probably, but what's more notable?
Yeah, I guess so.
Seaweed, plants.
And maybe if they're all
a whole street full of baby turtles.
If they're all about the same size too, maybe like their density or whatever just kind of stuck together, where other things got thrown out.
I mean, it was probably raining other stuff too.
I just mean like they're all relatively probably the same size,
yeah.
So they probably ended up in the same area because they were the same size and weight.
So I do think this is probably
shape.
One of these rare things of actually being a water spout, like we talked about on a episode on the podcast, the raining of bones.
Yes,
that was not a water spout, even though that was kind of the main thing being pushed out for it.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was a cloud throwing up bones after it ate.
Like in the movie Nope, maybe, perhaps. Well, I have another explanation.
Ooh, let's hear it.
What if this is actually how the Earth is seeded with life and new species or different species?
Panspermia?
It literally rains from the sky. Like they just fall from the sky.
I will believe that if you're talking about fungi and tardigrades. Turtles, no. We should do an episode on...
You don't know.
We should do an episode
There's
on
evidence.
The old, where they used to think animals and stuff came from, like that.
I don't know.
Do you know what they used to think birds went in the winter?
Where they went?
Yeah.
Agartha?
Well, okay. So birds hibernated in the bottom of ponds.
Okay.
Or on the moon.
Makes sense.
I know at the time, it was about the only logical stuff they could have.
Yeah.
To explain it.
See, what if though?
But they never found a bird in the bottom of the pond.
What if someone like modern science created these explanations that people thought back in the day? Like they made it up. That's what people thought in the past. They just published that to make people seem stupid in the past.
Well, I know the story. Well, I don't know about that.
Do you think that's a possibility though? Like
Not
they plant these false narratives
maybe for some
to,
stuff.
to make
I don't
people
think so.
seem dumber.
Because I think at that point, I don't think it was a dumb thing. I think it was what they were observing.
Yeah.
So the moon, they really didn't know how far away it was. And you imagine before a lot of light pollution and stuff like that.
It's probably looks bigger and brighter and
pretty. I mean, we right now can see surface texture on the moon with our eyes. Now imagine it without no light pollution and stuff like that.
I know.
So you could probably see like actual structures more readily on the moon. Like right now, we can see some of the mountains and stuff like that on the moon, or the crater ridges.
Craters. Yeah.
With our naked eye, we can go outside tonight if it's a clear night
And see it.
So you could see there's a place up there, and in the winter these birds would fly up and disappear. So that makes sense. That's not without experimentation. That's a logical explanation at the time. I don't think that's dumb. I think if you with the available information, like I don't know actually how far that structure is up there, but I know the birds can get up. The birds can get up there.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of the places they're going in the winter months. And why they thought the bottom of the pond thing is because they would dig up turtles, frogs, and other animals from the bottom of ponds to eat in the winter. So they assumed that birds were just better at hiding, and that was where they would go and hibernate. So they are. That's
silly.
not. To me, that's not dumb.
Those are silly gooses.
It's them using
Get
the
it?
available information. Yes, it's silly gooses. Imagine digging up a whole goose from underneath a pond.
Yeah, it'd probably honk at you.
Mm-hmm. So that's them using the available information. But you ever hear the story of how they kind of I can't remember the name of the biologist, but how they kind of figured out they migrated?
Birds?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I can't remember. I think 12th century, 14th century, something like that.
Okay.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
So old biologists, how they would be biologists is they would kill things and then look at their dead bodies.
Right.
So he shot a type of stork in England, and it had an African spearhead in its throat. That bird's still on display in one of the museums. You can go see it. But he's like, he didn't know what the spear was. He took it to his buddy that was like an anthropologist kinda. It's like, oh no, this is a modern day spear. This is used in X tribe in Africa right now.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, so this bird was in Africa then.
Right.
Like, yeah, and then so they finally started looking, like, okay, they start going and documenting species down in Africa, realizing that the same species they have in England, just at different times of the year.
Right, yeah. So they figure out
So I wouldn't say any of that's dumb or made up for that reason of them looking stupid.
Yeah.
It just, until that happened, they were just like, there's all these reasons. Like, it's just, I don't know. You use logic and available resources.
Makes sense.
There are dumb things they believed, but,
well,
I mean, the witch burnings.
Yeah, that's probably a bad example.
They were dumb.
Some people make mistakes.
No, the witch burnings were used to kill your neighbor you didn't like.
Some people did make mistakes. I mean, it's in the past.
We'll have to do a Salem witch trial episode.
Yeah.
Because there was one that was like, it was all fun and games until one of the head guy's wife got called a witch and then it ended.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, then, we're not doing this anymore.
Like, you know what? This is stupid.
Yeah. Also, what could have happened with these turtles could have been like when Ernest Goes to Camp, when they tied all the parachutes to the turtles and they dropped them on that construction crew that was trying to tear down the camp to make it for corporations to build a parking lot.
You heard it here first. It was Ernest.
I wish he was still alive. We need more Ernest in the world today.
He is. He's out there with Elvis and Tupac.
Probably.
At their, like,
chumming it up, doing impressions with them. And yeah, I wish I wish Ernest was still around.
All right, let's hit our final story. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode for you guys, but we wanted to put something out.
That's okay. Yeah. It's fun. We're having fun.
Turtle Day.
Yeah, it's Turtle Day here. All right.
We should have set one of the sulcatas on the desk or Bosco.
I should have brought Tiki.
We'd have been really nervous if Bosco was on this desk.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him there.
He is faster than you think.
Yeah, I don't want him.
I put him on the floor the other day.
And he ran?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They can't pick up their head.
Yeah.
But they can move.
Interesting. Tiki's pretty fast.
I was cleaning his tank. Well, actually, I was moving him to the other tank.
Yeah.
And I set him on the ground.
And he gone?
And he was coming at me.
Oh, he was?
I jumped so freaking, because he went from 0 to 100 charging me.
Yeah. Oh, man, that would have been funny.
I thought I was going to lose my toe.
Yeah, if you had like a big bite out of your foot, I would have laughed. Sorry. It would have been great. Good content for the show. All right. This one is from the Perrysburg Journal, July 22nd, 1904, Ohio. A name carved on turtle.
Perrysburg.
Not too far from us.
Mm-hmm.
Animal carries initials 21 years and is then found by brother of carver. That's pretty cool. So it's similar to our first story.
So you found Jeff's turtle.
Yeah, my brother. Or if he found my turtle, that'd probably be more appropriate.
Wait, Jeff's older than you, right?
Yeah.
So no, he would carve the turtle first.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter, I don't think.
Yeah, well.
He's not the one with the turtle.
No, not Tiki. Tiki, if she got out of your house, would be dead in half an hour. She'd fall in that creek and drowned.
She's very...
Sulcatas are famous for drowning themselves.
Really? I would believe it.
Because they don't have any water in the Sahara Desert doesn't have pools of water.
Right, yeah.
So their little brains don't have any mechanism to be like...
Oh, don't go in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Poor Tiki. All right.
Just see... I told you... Sorry, I'm really getting off track in this episode.
That's fine.
Did I tell you about the teens that all went to prison in Florida for the tortoise?
I don't think so.
All right.
Is this recent?
No, this is... I was actually in Florida when this happened. So there's black gopher tortoises in Florida.
Okay.
They're critically endangered. There's not many of them left. You can count how many of them are left.
Okay.
I actually got the pleasure Me and Luke were fishing on the beach with one.
Oh, nice.
It was really cool. Me and Luke were sitting there fishing on the beach in New Smyrna, in Cape Canaveral National Seashores. Is one of the last refuges for black gopher tortoises.
Black gopher tortoise.
So yeah, they're big. They're big and they're jet black.
Oh, cool.
They're one of the larger tortoises in the world.
Wow.
Not like the top 4 or anything
No,
like
but
that.
still. And they're in Florida?
Yeah, they're hard to find. But so me and Luke went fishing, and first we seen this giant hole, and there's something in it. And I'm peeking in, and Luke's like, "Don't look in it." I'm like, I look in it, and dirt comes flying out, and I'm like, "All right, well, we're not messing with that." So we're sitting on the beach, and there's just a turtle walking, just looking as we're fishing, just hanging out.
Jet black.
Yep.
Was it big?
Yeah, oh yeah. Probably 50 or 60 pounds.
Okay.
And they're everywhere on that place. They're
Yeah.
everywhere because that's one of their last preserves for them.
Yeah.
So these teens were not being malicious. They thought they found a sea turtle.
Oh, no.
Black gopher tortoises cannot swim.
Oh, no.
So these teens pick up this black gopher tortoise, and they have a whole video on it. And this is, I think, when TikTok. So this was after high school. This one TikTok was just starting.
Yeah, Vine days, maybe?
No, it was way after Vine.
Okay.
Vine was dead before I got out of high school.
Okay. Youngin.
So they picked up this giant tortoise. There's like 4 of them, and they carried it to the canal.
All 4? Oh, for the kids. Okay.
Yeah. And they threw it in, and it just sank.
Oh, no.
And it died.
Well, yeah.
And then they got charges, and these kids were like, "We thought it was a sea turtle. We didn't know, we thought it was a stranded sea turtle. We were just trying to put it back in the ocean." Yeah, I was like, I get that, but man.
You killed an endangered species.
That's like, there's like 150 of these things left.
And you just out with one.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. They got in some serious trouble.
So who's at a failure on the kids or the education system for not, acclimating you to your own environment?
So here's the only thing I will say is that when I go to Florida, in the areas that black gopher tortoises are, there's about 150,000 signs.
Yeah.
About black gopher tortoises.
But
So now that they're residents,
why aren't they taught that in school though?
they may have been.
I doubt it.
They did not seem like the best students.
Oh well. I don't know.
So I don't know. They're in trouble.
When was that? Like
2016, probably 2017.
Dang.
That same year, that was a bad year for black gopher tortoises, because a homeless man ate like 50 of them.
What? That wasn't the. Oh, never mind. No, that was a lot older than that.
Yeah, they about shot him.
Did he go to jail?
Something happened to him.
Oh, okay. He suicided himself.
The bull sharks.
Oh, okay. With bull sharks. Didn't know that. Well, fun. We learned something new today.
Don't mess with the black gopher tortoises.
No, don't.
There's like, I seriously think there's like less than 500 of them left.
Dang.
And like 300 of them live in Cape Canaveral National Seashores. When you go there, though, they're everywhere.
Let's steal some and breed them.
There are active breeding populations for them and stuff. So
How much are they to buy?
I don't know if you can. So I think they're starred species. So there's like this. This is really behind the scenes stuff. For endangered species breeding in the U.S., there are groups that work with it. That Camp Carn guy I show you, the tortoise guy from Florida. I don't think he has any because he's in Florida, but he's a part of this program, and it's all over the world, where they work with specifically starred species, which are critically endangered species in need of conservation or breeding.
Okay.
And he gets sent turtles from our other private collections around the world to use in breeding programs.
Right.
And so some of the babies go back into captivity for more breeding programs, and some of the babies go back in the wild. So basically, it's a way for these people that want to collect these really rare species to get their hands on the species and do good.
Right. Yeah. At the same time. Can you crossbreed tortoises like you can dogs?
Yeah, depending on how close. They have to be in the same genus. Or yeah.
So could you do a black gopher tortoise and a sulcata?
Probably not.
Why not?
Sulcatas are not really related to anything else that's big.
Oh, okay.
I think, don't hold me to this. I think a lot of their species they're related to are like African pancake tortoises and stuff like that.
But why can't they produce offspring?
Just the genes are very different. So it's just like, imagine zippers. That's the best way. I always use genetics.
They don't zip together.
Yeah, so you need a zipper that's at least close enough to match the other side.
Yeah.
Whether they can be very different, but they still need to mesh.
Have the right. It's similar enough teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gotcha.
So when a species gets, so we talked about phenotype and genotype, a while ago. So a species can be very phenotypically similar,
but their genotype can be way different.
Way different. So those zippers aren't meshing.
Gotcha.
So like Aldabras in Galapagos, they can crossbreed. Yes, they can. But I don't think the other species that are kind of in that group can.
I want to see a black gopher tortoise now. I'm interested.
Down to Florida. They're everywhere. We go to Cape Canaveral. I will guarantee you see one.
Maybe I'll put them on.
You're not supposed to feed them, but people feed them, so they come up to you.
Oh, cool.
They're not scared of you. I mean, nobody hurts them there. So.
Yeah, well, obviously, except the people that threw them in the river.
That wasn't in Cape Canaveral.
Or the homeless man that ate them.
Yeah, Cape Canaveral has a big fence.
Did you ever hear about that? It was like a homeless man or like a guy that escaped from Vietnam.
Yes, the little pigs.
Yeah.
He didn't escape from Vietnam.
Or was it?
He got kicked off a Vietnamese fishing boat in Florida.
That's what it was. Him
and his captain got in a bad fight, and he got kicked off the boat and left.
And didn't he think like they were?
He thought he was stealing little pigs.
Yeah, but why was he there or hiding? Didn't he think like?
Oh, he thought since he wasn't supposed to be in America, so he thought in Vietnam they just shoot you.
Yeah. Okay.
So he just assumed that we were going to treat him the same way.
Yeah.
And he hung himself in jail.
Yeah, because he thought he was.
Because they couldn't get a communicator.
Yeah. They
were just trying to get him home. They already had him a plane ticket and everything.
Should we tell that story real quick or no?
So, I mean, we already kind of did. Vietnamese guy got in a fight with his captain.
Yeah.
Got kicked off. So this one swamp, right where my aunt and uncle live.
Yeah.
Had Bigfoot sighting breaking into the cabins and stealing food and stuff like that. And he called him the Armadillo Bigfoot or the Armadillo Man.
Yeah, but turns out
it was a guy.
Yeah,
it was a Vietnamese guy. He got kicked off his boat because he got in a fight with his captain.
And hiding out in the is it near the Everglades?
Not really, but in a wetlands.
And hiding out in the wetlands, surviving.
Eating all these armadillos, and he thought they were little pigs.
Yeah.
And he thought he was in all this trouble for eating these guys as pigs and stuff like that. And then so they get him in jail, and they're just trying to get him home. And I feel bad. I watched the interview with the one cop.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, we had a translator coming, and we just couldn't get him there soon enough. Because it's like, how do you find a Vietnamese translator in Florida? We don't have a lot of Vietnamese people.
Right.
He's like, I got 8 people that speak Spanish in our precinct. I don't have anybody that speaks Vietnamese.
Yeah.
And the Vietnamese guy basically thought they were going to execute him for stealing pigs and being not a proper citizen and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So he hung himself in his jail cell.
Poor guy.
And the cops didn't understand why he hung himself. They had him a plane ticket and everything to get him back to Vietnam.
Yeah.
They were going to get him back.
Maybe he really did do something awful.
I don't think he did. I think it was because he came from Vietnam.
Yeah. But wouldn't that be like...
And for stealing livestock in Vietnam?
He's like, they cannot discover what I actually had been doing this whole time.
Well, no, breaking, entering, and stealing livestock.
Yeah.
In Vietnam, he would have been shot in the head.
Or had his hand cut off or something.
No.
Oh, just shot in the head? All right.
They have to, in those countries, it's a very...
In those countries.
They take it, we more slap on the wrist for stuff like that, which...
But we are the largest penile country in the world.
Yeah, it's because we don't... Never mind.
Just saying. All right, let's get back to the turtles.
Yeah, sorry. This turtle in Perrysburg, Ohio.
Yes. And yeah, we're doing good on time here. Perrysburg, Ohio. Or at least that's where the journal is. So, bearing the inscription J.L. Ice, August 17th, 1883, which was neatly carved on its shell, a land turtle nestled calmly in the pocket of W.B. Ice, Barackville, West Virginia. Okay.
So it's West Virginia, even though it's an Ohio newspaper.
Yes, that happens all the time.
All the time with these stories.
J.L. Ice, whose name has been carried by the turtle for nearly 21 years, died 2 years ago. He was a brother of W.B. Ice. The turtle was found on the Tom Ice place on Ice's Run, where it had a den and a small cavity where a tree had been taken from a yard. Around this cavity were small paths showing that for years Mr. Turtle had been wandering in close proximity to his home. On August 17th, 1883, Messrs, I don't even know what that means. J.L. and W.B. Ice were making rails in the woods above Tom Ice's house. J.L. Ice ran across the turtle and carved his initials on the shell, and the date was placed there. After he had finished his work, he showed the turtle to his brother. According to W.B. Ice, which is his brother, the turtle has not grown much and looks the same as he remembers it 21 years ago. Recalling the memories of the dead as it does, the turtle will be returned to its den, and it will be given the best of care by the people who reside in the house nearby.
So this is more of a pleasant one.
Yeah.
So they built him a little house and everything.
That's pretty awesome. They returned him home.
This is 100% a box turtle.
You think so?
Oh yeah, already from the story. So cool thing about box turtles, and here's the reason: if you see a box turtle in the wild, any turtle, any wild turtle, don't mess with it. It's fine. Specifically box turtles. If you pick up a box turtle and you move it, it probably will die.
Really? Why?
They develop over their life these set patterns of where they go every day, every season. So they don't stray from these paths. Mm-hmm. So that's when he said it had all these little paths from its hut.
Right. Yeah.
That's 100% a box turtle.
That's pretty awesome.
That's just what they do.
Yeah.
And if you take them away from their paths and stuff like that, they have to reset their life.
Yeah. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Yeah. So it's really weird. Box turtles are amazing.
Well, that was a fun little one.
In Hocking, when I was in college, Hocking Hills with the cliffs and everything like that, we would find box turtles in the weirdest places, especially younger ones before they get their kind of pattern set down.
Yeah.
They'd be on the top of ridges and stuff like that, and you're like, how the hell did you get up here?
Yeah.
Turtles are very adventurous.
This is actually really weird that we're having this, because last night I had a dream that it was you and me actually, on like this weird farm, and there was a whole thing of turtles. And you said climbing that ridge made me think of this. There was like this old fence post and it had like these metal rails on it. And these turtles were climbing up to the top of these rails and then falling off the other side. Just like, and you're like, yeah, turtles just do that.
They do.
And I was like, oh, they can climb and stuff. And they're literally climbing this fence. And this weird dream. And then these two skunks came and started ambushing them and eating them.
That would happen too. And
you were like, yeah, that happens. I'm like, are you going to do anything? And you're like, no. And we walked away. It was weird.
You're not supposed to interact with nature. I would be I couldn't do National Geographic like photography because you're not supposed to.
Oh, you'd have to stop it.
Yeah, I'd be like, get away from that turtles.
Yeah.
Get away from that little lizard.
Shoot a slingshot at it or something like a stone.
No, snapping turtles climb over fences. It's crazy.
Oh, it's weird. Yeah, that's what these were.
No, but like
so weird.
We actually found a common snapping turtle on the top of a ridge once, and we're like, "Why are you up here?"
Yeah.
And
my mind's blown though. I had that dream last night. I just
weird.
now remembered it. Yeah, it's weird.
It's Turtle Day.
It's turtle must be. That's really strange. Because I don't remember my dreams often.
Turtle.
And I very distinctly remember that. That's weird.
I love turtles. They're a very unique group of animals.
This is weird.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Is it?
A little bit.
Okay.
Synchronicity, maybe. Perhaps. But yeah, it's Turtle Day.
Turtle Day
on Cryptids of the Corn on YouTube. Exclusive.
A YouTube exclusive. We're not even recording this audioily.
We're not?
No.
Oh, I got you. We are, but we're not.
Yeah, no, we're recording a video audio.
Yes.
Not our normal. So guys, oh gosh, I gotta learn to look at the camera.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
You look crazy, by the way. Yeah.
It's because you're sitting like 5 feet away from the camera and I'm sitting a foot.
I know. Let's promote. We have
Patreon, a lot of fun stuff on there. We're getting January 1st. If you want in the first round of the $5 and the $10 tier stuff we send you, get in there by January 1st. There's a video kind of explaining what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think I've changed a little bit. I haven't talked to Jay fully about it, but to make it easier on us, I think I'm going to change it a little bit.
I'm all about easier.
Yeah. Because the 6-month thing is not going to work, I don't think, as in for tracking, because it's just going to be too difficult to track.
Right.
So after your first paid month, starting after January 1st.
Okay.
After your first paid month, if you're in the $5 tier, you get the mini cryptid figurine.
Just 1 month?
Yep. Because it's the only way you can track it.
You can't do... I thought it showed, like...
I just did it last night. Believe me, I played with it for like an hour.
And you can't see when they first...
Not for 6 months.
Well, wow, I think it should be a year.
Want these people in here. Anyways, me and Jay will talk off camera, but this is how it's going because I'm the one that has to deal with it. So after your first paid month, you have to have 1 month of actually, after you pay. Then you get your mini figurine. If you're in the $10 tier, after your first paid month, there'll be the order sent in for your unique Cryptids of the Corn T-shirt. This will be a T-shirt design we don't sell. It'll just be for the Patreon members of the $10 tier. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but a month just seems so short.
It is, but
someone could just dip out, get a $10 T-shirt.
Well, yeah, and you get a $10 T-shirt, but it's hopefully we get them to stick then.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
So that's that. Facebook, we always do our Facebook Lives. We're going to start trying to program or start trying to set up more evening ones. I've already got like 5 or 6 requests this week alone for it.
Do evening stuff?
Yeah. So we need to like start doing that at least once or twice a month, an evening one.
I gotta have a different work schedule or something.
Maybe Fridays we were talking about. That seems like you're off Fridays.
Kind of, yeah.
Sometimes, and I'm even if I work a Friday, we can still do it after I get off work.
Yeah.
Like at 8 o'clock or something, and have a couple beers with these guys.
It's just it's difficult. It's the life of a bowler.
Or maybe Sundays or something. We'll figure it out.
Or even Thursdays. I mean, can make it work.
We'll figure something out. So we're gonna start trying to get that more. Oh, another Patreon thing. We do movie night. We do game night, stuff like that. Get on Patreon. It's a lot of fun. Working on setting up a Patreon exclusive Facebook.
Ooh, okay.
So they'll have a whole thing for just Patreon members, so they get more stuff to see and stuff like that behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, the inside scoop, and scoots.
Instagram. Right now, actually, the best way to get a hold of us is through Instagram because now I have it. Or email.
Better than Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We have new projects we're working on. Both of us are working on some stuff for the Cryptids of the Corn network. So just kind of pay attention. We're not in a position yet to release either of them, either of the major 2 projects.
It's true.
But we're getting close.
We are?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Anything you want to add?
Just thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right. Have a good day. Happy turtles.
Bye.
Bye.